poem goes out to my cousin in Kuwait, my friends in Persia. It's called Shadows of a Crescent Moon. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah. Maybe.
A faraway land, neglected and forgotten, son of Mother Earth, casted beneath the sand. His children misled, their habits misunderstood. A common goal achieved, if understand we only could. A child left behind, forced to hide his radiant face behind imprisoning bars of silk. Flourishing with elegance, gems, jewels, once mighty empires, palaces unlike anything on earth. Yet time and time again, a village with no water, a child with no milk. From the highest of mountaintops, cries for help fall upon deafened ears. To the east and to the west, all is heard is chants of hate, and that is where the media seems to run out of tape. And so once again, the child found yet still lost, and no one seems to catch his fallen tears. But these children of God, like you and I, are but shadows of the crescent moon, born to live and live to die. Next one's a little less emo. It's called Watermelon. Sweet smell of barbecue, carpooling along with the cool breeze, floating along the rooftops in the city blocks. 'Tis truly a magical day. Even Father Harris enjoys a nice glass of lemonade instead of his usual scotch on the rocks. Even the old familiar ruckus of police and the criminals they are after is replaced by the sound of a broken fire hydrant and a child's laughter. In the park, families frolic as the parents indulge in the momentary innocence as they watch their children joyful in bliss. Funny how people tend not to cherish small things like this. For the world says we are lost, wound up in business, and think everything has a cost, yet no, not once have they set foot past our gates. For stubbornness and irrationalism are the only source of this hate, for what they fail to see is that each city has a soul just like you and me. It has a heart for which all things must start. Veins become streets where the people, the blood, flow from joint to joint and point to point. For within each cell, each human being, there is a point, a purpose, something that makes them go just because. And without everyone, there can be only none. So together we must be if there is to be a future for you and for me. So just maybe this barbecue watermelon ice cream breeze can touch us one and all, and maybe, just maybe, this thing called peace won't be so hard to reach after all. This next one's called Spirit Walking. I wrote it on the way here. Sitting on the subway, so much pushing and shoving, whatever happened to all the brotherly loving? And all this yelling and screaming, it has no meaning. From MLK to JFK, people have heard the message but let it fade away. Yes, the wonderful human race, completely oblivious that it is slowly slipping out of first place. But have no fear, for the ever useful blind eye is here. For no problem too big, no problem too small. For it seems that your problem was never there at all. But let you be warned and shall you be told that the problems such as murder will only grow as they become old. For your telltale heart will gnaw at your soul and tear you apart. Now murder, you ask? Why, I would never perform such a hideous task. But the murder of the human spirit went unnoticed only because you could not see it. Because seeing is believing, of course. That is the slogan for many who have lost their free spirit just like a tamed horse, led by the tassels of mundane and pop culture, leaving the weak behind to the cast-off vultures. Told not to give them a helping hand unless, of course, they offer something of wealth. Then they're your man. So don't follow the pack. It's okay if you get a little off track. For that is where the spirits roam. When you feel that tribal spirit rush through your veins, then you know you're home. And you will never be the same again. So I ask you, no, I challenge you to open your heart, and it may be the start of something beautiful. Now the last poem I'm going to read, it's kind of an old one. I still haven't got a title for it yet, and it's kind of long, I must warn you. But me, myself, and I, an ice water jazz cat strolling alone, trying not to slip, trying not to die. Charismatic streetlight telling others, what are you waiting for? Slow down, Daddy-o, and just don't go. Although even I myself don't know which way is wrong, which way is right. Yet others still follow me because when all else fails, I am still the one to stand up and fight. And others ask me, are you mad? Are you crazed? Well, you see, I run on an empty track in my own mind for days and days, with an SOS printed upon my chest, waiting to be saved. Until I came to this realization that I was both my own master and my own slave, both king and pawn of my own congregation. My mental melting pot spews over the top like a bottomless bag of right-brain pop rocks, rearranging my sense of reality and feeding my sweet tooth for creativity. Bringing myself to a new peak of mental clarity, making my lyrical blowhole spew with this beautiful blend of English and art, missing a finish but for sure had to start. Creating colorful images, blowing minds, and sending shocks through your appendages, in an attempt to free your spirit from being a casualty of normality, for living by a routine that's so bland and so boring. So set yourself free and live your life individually. So stand out, even if you have to get up and shout. Take your inner child and let it all out. You won't be alone, I promise you, for the spirit of love will always be there as long as you remain true to you, and I'll be there too. And the SOS upon my chest was a success, for I have shown you the way to yourself, and to you I'll leave the rest.
All right.